everyone. This is the first overview of version 0268 of Mythic Realms. It's been quite a long time since I've done a video for this game, so I thought I'd update everybody on what's going on. This video today will just cover most of the basic stuff that's been updated, as well as new features that have not been seen before in previous videos. So this game is designed to allow you to make your own stories, your own creations. This game is similar to other tabletop games in where you create a character and other players would also create theirs, and you would go on with a campaign and you'd make a story come to life. With this game, use your friends' imaginations and yours, and you would create your own objects in the game on the fly, and then you would use those said objects to make that story. So think about it more like a complete homebrew system. Giving you an example. Be just a random class. If I wanted to, I can make a new class, or I could use one of the defaults that I have already. Using that, you can modify your base stats and your restrictions that any character would do if they were in this said class. You also see down here that it allows you to do skill points, magical, language. They also have modifiers and restrictions, which I'll get into at a later video, but essentially the restrictions are what you require in order to have this class, unless you don't have a class previously assigned, and the modifiers are to add the values to specific things, or to add additional options that you would normally not have. Right. So as of the other versions, I never had a overworld for the game. So you have an overworld which has its own time and date, as well as location demands. Each location has their own demand for different objects. They can be a higher demand or a lower demand depending on the type of area in. So if one area has diamonds production and the other areas do not, then that area would be decreased value because it's so abundant. There are other areas don't have diamonds at all, so they would instead be a higher value. And you'd be able to do that here. And I'm just add one in for an example. Before, in previous ones, it was just an exact value for the condition and decay and durability of the item. Now there are more options to allow you to have full customizability. So condition is 100 or equal or greater. I want to instead say for this overworld that all soul crystals in this overworld, it doesn't matter what the condition is, are marked up by 100 coins. And I'll add that to the list. Now it's on the list. Condition, yep. And I'm just close that out. So my current character is Bob. You can check out Bob by going into here. It'll show the info of Bob. And if you want to go to inventory, you can go either here or right on the main game bar. And currently Bob has nothing. We want Bob to have an item. I'm just gonna go to character creator, open up Bob. I'm going to add an inventory item in the character creator. Add a soul crystal. And let's say add 5. Bob has 5 soul crystals. And you can see here that the soul crystals in Bob's current world are worth 1 gold coin, or exchange value of 100, which is the markup that we said earlier. So each of these are worth 1 gold coin, so you have a total of 5. And if I didn't want to make a trader to deal with Bob, I could instead just use the exchange menu. If I want to sell my items, I click the sell button. I add the items that I want to sell. And let's add all. And it's going to give me back 5 gold coins. Go ahead and sell that. Oh, I got 5 gold coins. But I don't want 5 gold coins. I instead want to exchange that up. I can do that here by going to gold coins and exchanging that with silver coins instead. I want to exchange 1 gold coin for silver coins. Okay, now it gives me an overview. It tells me how many that I'm going to get and the value of it. There we go. Alright, once we're done with that, let's say I didn't want that kind of coin. I wanted to make a new coin. You can easily do that. With the editor, you can use to make absolutely anything that you can find in the game. So, currency, and you see copper, silver, and gold coins. If I wanted to, I can make a new one by just typing in platinum. Platinum coins and showcase, which is my overworld. I'll select that, confirm. Alright, now I'll need to do the value of the coin, and since I've gotten 100 for gold, 10 for silver, and 1 for copper, I'm going to give this one 1,000. And let's give a little item weight to that, so a point, could be heavy, 0.7. 0.7. There we go. Now you got platinum coins. And the system automatically understands just how many kind of coins there are by looking in the directory, seeing the coins, then seeing the value of the item. It'll exchange it depending on the value of the item to the value of the coins in the most efficient manner. If you had instead 23 copper coins, which would be equivalent to 2 silver and 3 copper, the system would automatically understand that that's what you have, but it won't show that. It'll instead just show that you have the exact value. So this game not only has world date and time, but it also has holidays and birth dates and death dates already pre-scripted into the system. So if you had a character that was born on this date, it would automatically understand, and it would display it right here next to the holidays. Currently there are no holidays for this date, but there are holidays in the system. It just can't find any for this current date. It also shows the moon phase, which is the first quarter. As you go up in the time, it will change that to represent the moon phases, as well as beast forms will transform and do all that during those current phases. That part is not exactly set up, but it has the values in it so far. If I was to go to time settings, there's not a whole lot right now for it, but essentially, if I wanted to, I could choose this specific world, which is default, and I could advance the time. There we go. So now the time is 13:30 or 1:30. I could advance that again, and you see it changes the time, and it also changes the moon phase. With that being said, the dates don't have to be regular, like our actual world dates. It can instead be any kind of dates that you decide that it wants to be. If you decide that you want to have 28 days instead of 30 days in a month, you can by simply going into the world and going down to advanced settings. It would ask you the hours in a day, days in a month, days till full moon, times till blood moon, times till harvest moon, and yada yada. And again, you would have location demands in this world. You also have here just a general location tax markup. So this means that all locations would, or all items in this location will to increase by said amount. So if I decided to set this to 15 and then save this, now my item has increased in value by 15. Yeah, still a few bugs to go out with this one, but yeah. So with the new updates, I've been working more on the game book, which is the main part of the game. This would be roleplay your actions. interact with objects, do all that stuff with the game book. Seeing as how this game is a way to make your own story, you'd be able to do that here. I've got a little example going on from a story that I found. I have the link here if you want to check that story out. But essentially, this is what it looks like when you start making your game, or start making your story. As you continue on, you'll notice that it would have spoken languages, and it has the ability to translate your languages depending on your current character's proficiency points. Seeing as how this character doesn't know English, it doesn't know what she's saying. If you decided to spend some points into your proficiency, you would be able to understand more. If I was to go into page settings though, I could turn that off and just let you get the full view of what is going on, what she's saying. You can see down here that I also have world information put into the game. You're able to automatically see the date, time, everything else that's changed. You can also see the action text that'll appear while you're in the character turn actions. Right there. So it shows everything so far. So it shows the inventory, the world location traveled, and it should also show when you spend proficiency points. Now, if you didn't want to type that in, you could just get rid of that, or you could leave it in there and just submit it. And there you go. You got your action information. And if I wanted to, I could just end turn. Previous updates didn't have much to do with the map at all. It was just a picture. Now you have the full-on map with little icons for everybody. You can go in here and it would show you everything nearby, or the map settings, action records, or editor record. If I go to nearby, I can go to default starting location, which would take me back to the overworld if I wanted to exit the location. If I decide that I want to instead go to this location, I can either A, click on this location and enter it, or I can go to World Editor and drag this guy down, save, and now I can see the new location because it's close enough, and I can go in. I can also go to here in the World Editor tab, and I can just exit the location here, or I can look in the buildings for all the buildings that are here. Currently there's only one, but I can do that here. Music is also changed, so if I was to just turn off my music here, there we go, go into the options menu. So you got music for different locations that you can select and change yourself, and all of this is done with links from online, so that everybody can have the same synced up sounds, or they can have their own custom sounds. Go to Media Player, and you see the link right there. That's for the ambient sound and the background sound. Go. Now if I was to get out of this location and go to the previous location, it automatically understands and changes it to the next location. Each location can have up to 4 different types of sounds going at once. That's not counting background noise, like sound effects and stuff like that. It's just the world itself. When I go into Proficiencies, I can change my stats, my tolerances, languages, magic, and skills. Go to languages. There are still some things that need to be fixed, but essentially the text uses exact spelling, so text is just a little off, it doesn't understand. It's lowercase instead of uppercase, it also doesn't understand that. But for now, to try to translate that. See that you can't understand what she's saying, but if you add proficiency points, now you can. And of course, this changes depending on the amount you decide to put in there. The way that this current language works is by taking vowels and converting the vowels to and the replacement characters will be what you replace the items with. Proficiencies again. Everything in Proficiencies is all generated based on the default character and based on what you decided to put into the game. This is the default items that you want to put into the game. But if you wanted to, you could add a new one. You don't have to be tied down like other games to symbol and stuff like this. If you instead wanted to have a more electronic based game, futuristic based game, you could instead have this say if this window wasn't open, I can easily just open this up right from here. Just things. Add animals. Save the changes. Same with tolerances. If I wanted to, I could have tolerances to acid. However, my character would want. Or if I wanted to instead purchase items, I could go into the proficiencies, either in skills or magic, and I can purchase anything that I'm on the current tier with. Currently I'm at level 1, so the tier would be level 1. I can purchase this for 1 point. So equipment is also fairly straightforward. With it, you can have different parts of the character customized so that they have different sets of clothing on each, your armor and your clothing, instead of just one main pile. So if I wanted to have a regular set of gloves on one hand, but I also wanted to have armor over top of those gloves, you could. Or if you wanted to have instead chainmail underneath your breastplate, you could also get that. There's many more things that this game can do, but for now it's still in early development. This is just version 2.6.8 now. As time gets on, more of the bugs will be fixed, more of the features will be flushed out. For the most part, a lot of the stuff is not completed. So all of the grabbing objects, or sorry, not grabbing, using objects has not been done yet, but the main key functions of those objects have. So as an example, if we go into books, most of the values have already been inputted into the game. It just still hasn't been completely worked out with the system. Most of the AI that's in the game just doesn't work at the moment. With that being said, there are a few things that do work. I'll go into my inventory. And if I go to character creator, click on Bob, and I'm going to give Bob the cookbook. Bob's got a cookbook, which is worth 1 silver coin, 5 copper coins. I'm going to read. I said before, Bob doesn't really know English, so it's not really going to show much. But if Bob wanted to, he can go to his proficiencies, like I said before, and he can language and add his points. Bob is proficient. Yep. Bob can now understand. What else? Crafting menu is also finished. I'm not going to get into that too much because crafting is another thing entirely. But essentially, with crafting, you're able to make recipes, craft things if you want to. I'll show you the recipes now. I'm going to go give Bob a recipe. He understands, knows what he's making. And we'll just give so this pizza dough recipe makes one flat pizza dough, and the requirements are a wooden rolling pan, which is a disc item, and a cup and water bottle, and then it also requires action points. If I had all those items, I could hit craft, and it would give me pizza dough. Then from there, I could use another recipe to make the actual pizza. This would be the same as craft blueprints and make different with enchantments. Instead, I would select a different item, like a pepper. And I can use that weapon. Like I said, there are a few things that just are a little bit buggy, you know? I suppose that's one of them. No, I can repair it. So essentially with repairing, it would just be using money to repair the item and requiring action points. Enchantments would be the same thing, but you would require the actual enchantment. Oh, yes. That's what it is. Requiring the enchantment. Even I don't know this game. Enchanted flame. I'm just going to give myself one. There we go. Open up the enchantment flame, and I'm going to select yeah, there are a few things that just but yeah, it still requires a soul crystal to work, and I currently don't have one. I'm going to go to here, to the exchange menu. I'm going to buy a soul crystal. And again, this would just be if you didn't want to make your own person to trade with, and you just wanted to have a god, basically, that can just trade with you. Okay, so it's worth 1 gold, 1 silver, and 5 copper. And the current character has... Pretty sure you have enough. 1 silver, and silver. Yep. Oh, sell an item instead. I'm gonna sell my short sword. I don't need it. Oh crap. Not sure what else. A few things that just are bugging me now. I said I'll just go back into the character creator. What is it? Say 15. Things have silver points in their 10. And we're going to buy this silver stuff. Just one. So gold coins needed, silver and copper, and I have enough. Buy it. There we go. Seems like a again, very lucky. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, duh. I had frickin' yeah, okay. So, with that being said, that is the inventory. If I wanted to instead, I could trade with this guy, with another person. Later. Save over. Save all. Go into character creator, make a new character. Or, I already have one. To select this guy. Select him. It's glitched still. And I'm going to go into the location. And I'm gonna trade. So it shows, seeing as how I am the current player for both parties, it shows both inventories. If I was only the owner of one, it would only show my inventory, and it would send this message to the other player and allow them to see the other one. So if I wanted to, I could add this to their offer, and then I could accept as bottom. If I wanted to, I could also accept as narrator. First, I wanted to see the total of how much I'm gaining versus how much I'm losing. And accept. Once it's finished, there's no need to keep going. Menu open, and it just closes automatically. You see, I now have the book in narrator. Now, if I wanted to instead trade it back, I could. Or I could see the location demands, the code, and So location demand of 15. So many items that didn't have a value before now have a value of 15 in this location. There's quite a bit more that the game has to offer, but for now, it's still very good. There's still quite a lot of bugs that I have to work through, but it's definitely coming along. Once I get more done, I'll be posting new updates. I usually post updates every month. I'll be posting this video onto YouTube as well as keeping it up on my stream, Twitch, as long as possible. I'll have the link in the description of the main page for newest updates. You can check that out. Creating a character. Did want to show that off. So before you had to actually manually input all of this information in order to get the system to understand what was going on. Now the system can automatically do that for you. All you need to do is input this general information. So we'll do that now. We'll just give Jeff a race. Give him human because they understand English right away. And we're gonna say sorcerer. Also gonna say that this guy has a werewolf beast form, and he's male. Age is 24. Height, we're gonna say 170, and weight, we're gonna say 130. Let's make him neutral evil. When you add the character, it cycles through all of the default proficiencies and attributes and automatically gives them to the character. It also goes through all of the restrictions and stats of the race and the class that you gave. So you see here, based on the race and class that I chose, it shows what my mechanic can do. So looks like I can't wear a shield, or I can't use a shield or wear armor, as I decided to choose sorcerer. Nor can I use bloodlust or base form. Can't fly either, or this. Beast form. Same with beast form, they have their own set restrictions. Character stats based on what it selected, and if I change that to beast form, it will show the beast form stats. So seeing as how all of this stuff was default, it automatically puts in, and you see the new one that we created just earlier is also still in the menu as default. So if you didn't want a regular tabletop game, you wanted a futuristic, cyberistic game, you could use this one. Same with natural tolerances. Seeing as how this is the player creator, this menu is basically a GM will be able to edit this without having to use any of your character attribute points. Or if you wanted to actually spend those points, just go to the attributes and proficiency. And let's see, rolling for just like that. Yeah. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, whatever it was for now. I'll be doing more updates as I go along, like I was saying, and I'm going to be starting a new tutorial videos for all of this stuff to go more in depth with everything. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and happy gaming.